Listen to our proposal. My name is Sarah David, this is Jessica Watson and Tej Mishra, and today we are representing the Rajiv Gandhi Mahila Vikas Pariyojana. A woman is the full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and transform. Diane Marie Child's quote embodies the vision of Rajiv Gandhi Mahila Vika Pariyojana's mission. To keep it shorter for everyone, Rajiv Gandhi Mahila Vikas Pariyojana means Rajiv Gandhi Women's Development Initiative, and we'll refer to them as RGMVP from here on out. RGMVP's vision is to reduce poverty in India through women as central change agents, and that's exactly what they've been doing for the last 10 years. RGMVP has been working in Uttar Pradesh since 2002. Uttar Pradesh is one of the most populous states in India, and also has the most poverty out of any of the states in India. Over 40% of the population is below the poverty line. This is the largest urban poor population of any state in India. The urban poor in Uttar Pradesh are faced with entrenched poverty, gender and caste discrimination, and a large slum population. RGMVP is working with women in these communities to address these barriers. RGMVP's mission is to empower women to overcome poverty and discrimination through community institutions known as self-help groups. The self-help groups provide a platform for accessing rights and entitlements, and are also a platform for social and development initiatives to be executed effectively. As of March 2013, RGMVP has reached over 1 million poor households in the most discrimination-affected and poor regions of Uttar Pradesh. To date, all of the programs have been targeted to the rural regions. And we have done so through the Rajiv Gandhi Trust and support from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Today, our proposal is to expand their existing initiatives to the urban areas so that we can reach more of the women in Uttar Pradesh. Our project proposal is to implement a pilot urban expansion program in Allahabad city. There's a potential for great change because there is a great need in this city, and RGMVP has an existing infrastructure. Allahabad is classified by high population density, and it suffers from patriarchal and feudal systems and transient communities. In Allahabad city itself, there are over 186 slums. These barriers affect social capital and keep women from escaping poverty. Jessica will now explain the work we plan to do in Allahabad.
Thank you. RGMVP aims to expand its current existing community participatory decentralization model to the urban slums. In the course of 3 years, RGMVP aims to reach 100,000 women through the formation of 900 self-help groups across 60 different slums. To reach this target, the program will have the following goals and objectives. There are 4 core components to our program, and each objective matches with one of the following. Community institutions will be established in 75% of target population in Allahabad city in 2 years. All women participating in self-help groups will demonstrate financial literacy and increase the utilization of financial resources by year 2. All women in self-help groups have increased access to information, and at least 50% will have increased utilization of government services and entitlements. In addition, all women participating in self-help groups will have increased economic and livelihood activities in 3 years. The 4 components to reach these objectives form our action plan. Although they are distinct, they are also very much overlapping and dependent on each other for success. The first priority are community institutions. I'll go into each of these in further detail. Community institutions take place through the mobilization and formation of self-help groups at the slum level. Women in self-help groups will have initial financial inclusion training and also serve as a platform for other trainings and access to information. After initial formation of self-help groups and establishment, community resource persons in the self-help groups will be elected and represented at the cluster organizations. Cluster organizations will work on gaining access to government services and entitlements for these women. Further, the cluster organizations will elect representatives for the city organization level. City organization level will be responsible for resource allocation and ensuring that all women are appropriately designated to self-help groups, as well as advocacy and policy changes. So community institutions form the backbone of social mobilization. But from there, there will be financial inclusion. So the central activity of these self-help groups is the financial inclusion component. During initial phases, the SHGs are trained in financial inclusion and evaluated on their financial literacy. Financial inclusion includes access to savings, opening bank accounts, loans, and eventually microcredit for increased capital. With this increased capital, women can invest in further income-generating activities and livelihood. So with community institutions as a platform, we can reach women at the slum level for information and support, government services and entitlements, and livelihood trainings that will increase their income-generating activities. The beauty of the RGMVP model is that through the formation of community institutions, women are linked to government services and entitlements, gross and financial capital, and income-generating activities that will increase income and empower women to scale up the model on their own in a sustainable and ownership-based approach that ultimately leads to social and economic equity for the women living in Allahabad slums. Now Tej will introduce how we plan to monitor and evaluate our program.
Thank you. The central purpose of our M&E monitoring and evaluation framework will be to monitor the effectiveness and evaluate the impact of the RGMVP self-help group model in the among the urban poor women of city of Allahabad. We'll have decentralized sort of monitoring procedure where at each level information and data will be collected from self-help group to the cluster organization up until the city level organization. This will a little bit sound like, because the data can be sometimes sensitive and not everyone will be capable of capturing what's needed in the system, but then at the self-help group, whatever the information we need to capture in that level are not that sensitive. It's just whatever the income, whatever the amount women generate from income activities, or how she feels, or basically information around herself own. So we believe this will, rather than being problematic, will be more advantageous, that will collect information from the ground level. Self-help group attendance register, ledger, cluster organization monthly report, training evaluation surveys, and self-perception surveys will be major tools for the monitoring, and at the end the RGMVP will also conduct the end evaluation. Quickly running through the budget, our budget will be slightly above $200,000. This pilot program is for 3 years. A lot of resources and infrastructures are already existing with the Rajiv Gandhi Mahila Vikas Pariyojana. So this has helped to take the budget down to a large extent. And we have worked closely with them during this proposal building time, proposal designing, program designing time, and our budget, this amount is in line with one phase program the organization usually has already designed and implemented. The overhead costings are limited to less than 20% in our budget. One of the capabilities of our program will be that the program management team with more than 10 years of experience in similar programs exist with the Rajiv Gandhi Mahila Vikas Pariyojana, and the regional office of the organization is within the vicinity of our project location, which will make easier for administration. And the organization, as Sarah was saying, has already reached 1 million poor households since their establishment until 2013. So they have a lot of experience working with similar programs in the community. One of the key reasons for failure of similar programs in India is that a lot of programs since the mid-80s, especially mid-80s, existed with similar models of self-help groups and women participation in the community. But then most of the programs have approached the community in a way that they have first approached the community leaders to seek some sort of support and things like that. And as a result, most of the programs have been politicalized, and a lot of times these self-help groups have been used in political campaigns and things like that. So the groups, the projects went on losing their fame in the community. But one of our main approach is that we don't approach to the leaders at first. We go to the community resource person will have the knowledge of community people there, and she will approach individuals, the active members of the society, so that there will be less chances of those pitfalls of the projects that the weaknesses of the projects that were there before this program. The skill exchange program, that's one of our key component of the program design, will enable to, this skill exchange program is a component where the skills that one self-help group or one community might have, and they will make a list of the skills available within the community and exchange with other communities, so that this will enable expansion of economic activities and income generating opportunities within the community. As a conclusion, whatever the project facilitates within its working phase, this will enable the expansion of skills and grabbing opportunities, so the impact of the project will still be there after the phase out of the program. Technically the project will phase out, but the impact will remain, so we are confident this project will work and have a long-lasting effect in the community. And a woman is like a tea bag. You cannot tell how strong she is until you put her into hot water. This is a famous quote by Nancy Reagan. Yeah, thank you. Any questions?